Hello everyone, welcome again to Michelle Mould Art, and today I'm going to be sharing with you this pencil roll. So I'll just roll that up a little bit and you can see it's the Faber Castell pencil roll. It did come with, I think it was 34 polychromos coloured pencils in it, but I have added to that. I've added a few Holbein coloured pencils as well, just to make what I think is going to be my perfect pencil roll to take out with me when I do my art outside, so when I do my en plein air work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch out all these colours that I've decided to are going to be my sort of take anywhere pencils. So I'm just going to see if I can move this out of the way a little bit. You probably won't be able to see those colours very well now. No, but never mind, we will get them out one by one. And we're going to start with the white, which is a polychromos, and it's number 101. Now this obviously is not going to show up very well on here, but if you are using coloured paper, you can get the grey paper, or you can get the sort of browny coloured paper. Then actually the white shows up quite nicely, but this white does actually show up over the top of some watercolours. And once I've swatched these pencils out, I am going to do a little painting, and I'm going to use some of these pencils over the top. So let's just pop our white one back in. And our next one is called Sand. This is a Holbein coloured pencil, and it's number 175. I actually really like these kind of beigey coloured pencils. They're quite good for sand and really good in some landscape pictures. So let's see what we have next. It's another Holbein pencil. This one is beige and it's number 173. So beige has got, it's a bit warmer than sand. It's got a bit more of a pinky apricotty undertone to it. So there we go, that's beige. Our next one is also Holbein, and it's cork, that's the one, and it's number 171. And that's even warmer. So there we have cork. Moving on, we've got a polychromos, and this one is cadmium yellow, number 107. And I'm doing this on watercolour paper 300 GSM. This is my Sea White en plein air sketchbook. There we go, cad yellow, followed by dark chrome yellow, which is a polychromos. There. And then we have orange glaze. This is another polychromos, number 113. So this is a much deeper orange than the chrome yellow, dark chrome yellow. fair, this dark chrome yellow is almost orange, really. There we have that one. Going back to our Hold by an Artist coloured pencil, Jaune Brilliant, number 122. Lovely. What have we got here? Polychromos Cinnamon, number 189. Well, that's darker than I thought it was going to be. It doesn't really look like the colour of the pencil, but it's still a nice colour. There we go, Cinnamon. Then we've got Salmon, which is Polychromos number 130. Oh, I like that colour. And this is the only red that I've got. It's Scarlet Red. It's the Polychromos again, and it's 118. Don't really use red a lot in my work, but it's always good to have a red. There we go, Scarlet Red. And then Middle Purple Pink, another Polychromos, number 125. These are always good for, you know, if you just want to put a few dots of colour for flowers when you're doing your landscape paintings. There we go. Pop that one back. And reveal Purple Violet, Polychromos number 136. Hope I'm not getting my head in the picture today. Let's just I think that's good. I think we're in view. There we have Purple Violet, followed by, ooh, Dark Indigo. I do like an indigo. This is Polychromos and it's number 157. Lovely. That's a real nice dark indigo. We've got Polychromos Indanthrone Blue, which is 247. Oh, I think I'm going to like this one. What's this? Oh, this is Ultramarine. Polychromos Ultramarine, number 120. I used to use a lot of Ultramarine, but I've kind of turned more towards liking a cobalt blue, which is exactly what this is. Cobalt blue greenish, number 144, Polychromos. Yeah. I think I'm possibly drawn towards cooler colours rather than warmer colours, but when we're doing landscape paintings we kind of want the cooler colours further away and then the warmer colours towards the front of the picture. Phthalo blue. This is Polychromos again, number 110, 110. They're all quite different, those blues. Oops. So Polychromos Sky Blue is next, number 146. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is my blue. We've called it Sky Blue. I think it's like a cornflower blue, personally. It's one of my very favourite blues. And then we have got Cobalt Turquoise, Polychromos again, number 153. It's a very green kind of turquoise, this one. Cobalt turquoise, okay. And then Cobalt Green, Polychromos number 156. That's more like a turquoise to me than the Cobalt Turquoise. Yeah, there we go. Cobalt Green, but I would probably call that an aqua. Next, we've got a Holbein one. Holbein Artist coloured pencil called Opal Green, number 271. And then, is this another? No, this is Polychromos Earth Green, 172. Oh, that's definitely an earth green. Yeah. I've got a few different makes of earth green on various palettes, and that's definitely matches nicely. Polychromos Permanent Green Olive, number 167. What have we got next? Juniper Green, Polychromos again, number 165. I will hold all of these up when I've finished. Then we've got May Green, Polychromos number 170. May Green, Spring Green, reminds me of a spring green. There we go. And then Olive Green Yellowish. This is Polychromos again, number 175. That's really quite a dark olive green. Then we've got Green Gold. Let's see how this looks then. Polychromos number 268. What have I put there? 266. We need to alter that. Luckily we can make that into an 8, I think. There. Ta-da! Okay, green gold. Oh, okay. Nice colour. Next, brown ochre, polychromos number 182. Brown ochre. Raw umber, number 180. This is a polychromos again. Van Dyke Brown, polychromos number 176. And Nougat or Nugget, depending on how you pronounce it, polychromos 178. Walnut Brown, polychromos number 177. I actually like, excuse me, I actually like the polychromos. I like the Holbein pencils, and I do have a lot of luminance as well, but they're the ones that I keep on my desk. So sepia, this is Holbein, and it's number 182. Slightly darker than the walnut brown. Walnut brown's got a slightly more reddish tinge to it. What have we got here? India red, polychromos 19. Oh, I've missed one. Okay, sanguine, still polychromos number 188. Yeah, that's a good sanguine colour. That's how I picture it. Now let's do India red, which is polychromos 192. Oh dear, croaky still from my cold. So there we have India red. So what do we have next? Warm grey 4. 273 is the number, polychromos. And this one is warm grey 3. You can definitely see that it's lighter than 4. This one is cold grey, number 4, and the pencil colour number is 233. It's a polychromos. Yeah, there's a real difference there. definitely see. That's the warm grey for, that's the cold grey for. You can see the difference there. Then we've got Polychromos Payne's Grey, number 181. There we go, Payne's Grey. What have we got next? Polychromos Cold Grey, number 6. You can see the difference between the Payne's Grey and the Cold Grey. Payne's Grey does have a bit more of a bluey tinge to it. Then we've got Dark Sepia, which is Polychromos 175. We've got the black, which is Polychromos 199. Oh, that's really black. Yep. And then the only other things that I have got in this, if I bring this forward again, I've got a burnisher and a blender. I've got an HB pencil, a eraser, a sharpener, and then the only other thing that I've got in here is something called the Art Graph Soft Carbon Pencil. Let's see if that will... There. So I will just... I'll leave a gap. Gosh, you can really feel how soft that is compared to... Now the thing about this one, I'll do 2 squares. The thing about this one is that it is, you can add water, so it's water soluble. Let's just find... Here we go, I've got a little... There. You can see how dark that goes, look. So that's the carbon pencil. So let's just pull these up so that you can get a better look, a bit more of a close-up. Just run those along. So that you can get a better idea. You can obviously stop the video if you want to, but up close you can see the difference between all those greys a bit better, I think. So those are the pencils that I'm going to be using to take outside when I do some en plein air work. But next I'm just going to do a little picture. I am going to move those pencils to the side a bit. So let's see if we can get that in a bit better, like so. And we're going to need some water. Get my good old Kilner jar out. And let's get a few brushes at the ready and a tissue. And which paints shall I use today? I think I'm going to use my Cloverleaf palette, but as you can see in this Cloverleaf palette, I've actually placed the woodland confections. So they're the Art Philosophy confection set called Woodland, and I just really like these palettes. So I've literally taken out the half pans and put them in here. I've added some white gouache, and I've added a dioxazine purple in there and some gold there. But yes, those are the colours, and I think I'm going to use those woodland colours today to do this little painting. But I'm also going to be using the coloured pencils as well. So let's see how we go. I've sketched out a little landscape picture here. So I'm going to need some sky at the top there. And I'm going to use the colour that's actually called, it's called Stream, but we'll use it for the sky. So we're just going to get a little bit of sky in here, avoiding my big tree. There we go. And then we've got some of this sort of hills in the background there, and I'm going to use the colour that's actually called Shadow, I think, because they're kind of a little bit of a way away. Maybe I might add a bit of green into that. Let's just see how we go. What green could we add in? Perhaps we will use a bit of what they're calling pond, and add a bit of, what's that one, mist, that's a darker blue, and a bit of the yellow, which is called Daylight. Okay, let's just, don't really like that as grey, and I'm not bothered that I'm getting these runs because they'll just look like trees in the background, to be honest. So let's just make that a bit of a different green. You can tell that I'm not hugely careful when I'm painting. I just like things to look quite quick and not too precise, I guess might be the word. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of what's called Sand Ridge to get a slightly different colour in front of those mountains. Although that is quite light. That's probably a bit better. I don't want it all looking the same colour green anyway. And I'm going to use my pencils to do any tidying up. So I always look at the watercolour when I'm doing something like this a bit like an undercoat. just move that out of the way. There we go. Let's just use my tissue there. There we go. I need a smaller brush now, and could really do with that drying a little bit before I do the tree. So I think I will pause the video and dry that. Okay, so I did use my heat gun to dry that before I do the tree, because I didn't want it to run. So I'm going to use the colour called Bear, as in grizzly bear, out of this set to do my tree. Oh, it's really a lovely colour. It's really rich, this colour. And I think I'm going to add a bit of blue in there, just to break it up a bit. And because trees aren't just one colour. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's given a bit more dimension to that tree there. Just adding some of the blue in. And then we want to get this fencing in. So let's use grey stone for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bushes either side. So let's get quite a dark green going. So I'm going to use deep moss out of this set. And I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it, because I want it to be a bit more of a olivey green than a bright green. That's better. So now we're going to pop these, start to pop these bushes in that are going across here, which, as you can see, are merely brush marks, nothing more, nothing less. And I'll put a little bit of a lighter colour on the top there to kind of, maybe there's some other kind of bush behind it, like so. And we'll let that mingle a little bit. Oh, I love it when paint just does what it's supposed to do. There There we go. So we've got that. Well, I think we want kind of a path. So perhaps I need to go more with the sand ridge and make that look a little bit more like a bit of a pathway. Or lumpy bumpy pathway like you find in fields, maybe where tractor marks have gone through. There we go. So we're getting there. Now I'm just going to pause that and let that dry again. Okay, so I just paused the video while I dried that. That's fairly dry now. So I think what I'm going to do now is switch to my coloured pencils. Make sure that's still in view. Yes. So let's bring those in a bit closer. And what shall we start with? Shall we start with these background trees? Let's maybe use this earth green, because it's quite a grey green in the background there. And I'm just going to emphasize these trees a little bit more. Maybe add a few more, like there, right in the background there. And I'm just using scribbles, basically. Nothing too complicated. I just want to give that a bit of an edge. Just needed to press a bit harder there. There we go. Now that looks like there's more trees in the background there. And then, what should we use? We'll use May green to put some kind of a, emphasize this edge here. Like so. And I think we'll use it here as well. Where the fields are being divided up a little bit. Yep, that's not too bad. I want to do something with this tree. Maybe the dark, was this the dark, that was sepia. Where was dark sepia? Was that dark sepia? That was the polychromos one. Will that show? Oh yes. Let's get some kind of bark. Going here. I'll make that quite dark up there, as if there's a bit of a split in the wood. Because that will give this a bit more texture. That's it. I'm making smaller kind of S shapes as I go up the tree. Because they're further away from view. just kind of these S kind of shapes. I think we might need to sharpen that. Let's just get my sharpener out. I'll just sharpen it on my paper here. Should have thought about that and put a container for my sharpenings. Oh, that's better. Yes. So let's just get a bit better shape around them. And a bit of so they don't look so flat. That's better. I think we probably need some branches coming off. So much easier to do with a pencil than with paint. And you can use a rigger, but I don't always find that that works. Okay, that's good. I want to do something a bit more with these bushes. I want them to be a bit darker at the bottom. Do you know what I'm going to use? I'm gonna use this carbon. They don't always sharpen that well. Artcraft soft carbon. And I'm just going to see if I can get, oh, now on this watercolour paper that gives you a lovely texture. It means we get some dark in the bottom of these bushes. Might actually add some water to it even. Yes, I quite like that. Let's take my clip out of the way now. And I might even add, let's add some maybe, yeah, we can make that even darker, and add some grasses around the bottom of this tree, maybe even a little bit around the bottom of there. I think I want to make that even more shadowed at the bottom there. Yeah, it just gives some depth to everything, I think. That a bit more. Let's see what happens if I add a little bit of water to that. Let's use this watercolour pen. It's definitely given us some depth there. Let's just clean that off a bit and see if we can just go a bit mad with it if I'm not careful. Well, I quite like that, I think. Should I put a little bit of that? Because that's quite good texture, isn't it? Oh yeah, quite like that a lot. Let's get that to go quite deep, maybe. in there around that. Yes, I think it makes it all look a little bit more 3D, doesn't it? Anyway, that's just a small little painting. And you can see how I've just added my pencils over the top to just give another dimension to everything, really. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that little piece of painting there, and I will see you next time. Please do remember to subscribe and like and click for the notifications, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching.